off. Plenty of width in the build-up again. Hosseini's ball in there once more. Sliding in there was Chrysanthus once again. This is Ibrahim waiting for some support. And the challenge in the end coming in from Okamoto.
You see here when this ball comes in, it's low, it's hard, and Chrysanthus gets in front of his defender. What denies him is just away from him rather than straight into his feet.
Fancy him. Spurs are looking for a left-sided player. Mind you, they're always looking for a left-sided player. Now, what can they do from this?
Looking for a lot of things at the moment, by all accounts.
But not a coach. But that's another story. Here's Osanga. Ibrahim was just backing off, hoping that the ball, or praying that the ball, that keeper was outside of his area when he kicked that ball.
Don't tell me. Just think Hosseini jumps there facing his own goal. Just not quite got it together on set plays, Nigeria.
7 there was Yoshida trying to work Kakitani into the game. However, Takahashi, there's a Nigerian player down injured. Don't know whether the Nigerians have seen it. They certainly have now, although all of a sudden there's a miraculous recovery as the Nigerian attack builds. Hosseini in possession.
There's another player down, Nigerian defender. There was a little clash, an aerial clash.
Brazil, as we've said, are the team that have scored all the goals, and everybody's been impressed with the way in which they've gone forward, obviously, their attacking capability. But a few people have mentioned the fact that they look as if they're get-attable at the back, so it would be interesting to see these two line up, wouldn't it?
With the way they're scoring goals, you're just wondering, first of all, you'd have to have the ball to get at them, and they don't seem that keen on giving it to anybody at the moment if they're too busy scoring. But it would be an interesting mix of styles to see Brazil get it on with Nigeria. Maybe that will be the final, who knows? Maybe Europeans will have a different view of things.
Well, interesting clash of styles on Friday morning as England take on Brazil. Kick-off time is 900 hours in the UK, 10 CET. Well, one player should be happy with that platform, Victor Moses. You'd be expecting a performance out of Victor Moses
if
against
selected.
Opposition like that. I think he'll have been already in and asked, won't you? Now, 4 up again for the Nigerians. Which way are they going to go? 4 of them congregate towards each other. And they needed just a little bit of width there. Hiranaga in possession. And Takahashi. Well, they were doing that in the first half. Something of a reliance on a long ball. Great footwork again then from Osanga. 10, Ibrahim. Oh, that was a free kick, sandwiched in between Takahashi and Mizunuma.
Goes for the gap between the two defenders. Referee's right there. Doesn't take much to go down now, does he, Haruna? But there is an arm raised, and I think the referee's decided to go for that. Do we have a free kick specialist? Is this Haruna wants to take this again?
Well, he's not got close so far. There's an additional body in the wall there.
I tell you, if the goalkeeper leaves too much space in that near post, it just might get exploited.
Got a long way to travel. Doesn't get anything even near the aerial capability it needed.
Ball does a good job. They don't break.
Respite is temporary. Still temporary. That's out of play there. That's a Japanese goal kick. And that goes Ibrahim.
Well, they've stemmed the flow, haven't they, so far in the second half, Japan, but you're not sure it's going to be enough, is it? Even with their talisman Kakitana on.
Well, they had to wait long periods before they had the opportunities in the first half, but they did come. Here goes Ibrahim again, little slip to the outside. Ibrahim continues his run into the area, not going to get it back. Haruna misses out. 16 is Ibrahim, little cut inside from Osanga.
Osanga's got to slip the fullback Ibrahim there. Got to put him in on the overlap.
Claims for a handball, not given. Kakitani, who's barely touched the ball so far, trots over the halfway line. Everybody but Chrysanthus back for Nigeria. Not much movement from the Japanese off the ball, plenty of movement from the white-shirted Nigerians, and slightly overhit. Hour gone, 2-0 Nigeria still lead, and still they will be very happy. Looking very comfortable, and Japan looking at present no threat whatsoever.
But you know, we've seen Japan slip into a little passing gear. Oh, that is ugly. You know, they possess a better game than that indicates. And if Nigeria go to sleep and take the foot off the pedal, Japan do have the potential.
Not many happy faces amongst the Japanese supporters there. Chrysanthus waiting patiently. The service has been a bit patchy to him. Osanga. Haruna trying to drive through the most congested area.
Good tackle. Straight for the ball.
This is where the Japanese could make some capital once again if they can actually, if they don't actually stop playing on the halfway line and keep the pace of the attack up. That's when they've caused all the problems for Nigeria, but not this time. 7 here.
They've kept possession
Yoshida.
and their game's been short. Normally when they get to about this point, the ball's a long ball. But on that occasion, they kept it short and they progressed. And I think that's got to be something they think about in the remaining minutes of this game to try and unlock Nigeria. That movement off the ball and short passing again. Just keep zipping it about. You can see the pressure. When it goes long, invariably, it's up for grabs.
It's up for grabs there. Kakitani waits in the penalty area. Have to wait on as Balogun keeping a watchful eye on Yin Hanato. Forward by Yoshida. And again, you talk about cheaply giving away possession. The Japanese continually will do it.
Yeah, their own worst enemy.
Oh, well, the goalkeeper, his positioning has been questionable on a number of occasions, and Hironaga playing himself into a problem area. See Kakitani just down below us, then trying to remain unnoticed. Still stuck out, marooned out here. Kakitani is still there. The ball should have been played to him.
It's either the shot or the pass. Just don't dribble it any further. But when they keep that game short and quick, they do get progress against Nigeria.
This is Osanga Ibrahim on the overlap. Osanga's going to go for goal himself. Keeper spills it very nearly in front of Chrysanthus.
Osanga's having a bit of a spell in this second half, involved more cuts inside. Great strikes, real venom in there.
Cool, you see that ball move?
more than a handful for the keeper. But what's pleasing when you see the striker Chrysanthus straight on top of it, any spillage, he's there prowling. Good predatory instincts, means he's awake and alive.
That's something in the eye of Haruna. he's got to leave the field to get a bit of treatment. The referee just informing him of that's the fact. Seen a couple of teams qualify already for the second stage of this competition. Spain, Europe's first representative into the next stage. Brazil, CONCACAF's first representative into the next one. Now, Otsuka is on for Saitu. Drifted out of the game after causing a few problems, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had one glorious opportunity in the first half that he didn't make the best of. He'd be too critical against the Japanese players for not being involved in the game. Well, you can say that just about everybody apart from the defenders, who've been kept busy for the whole of it.
As we said earlier, the changes in the game against Haiti turn the game around in Japan's favour. They need some form of recovery here. This is Oseni, keeps hold of possession, still there Oseni. Gap opened up, plays it far post, Christiantas waiting there. Oh, Ibrahim, magnificent, cuts it back. Would have been another moment to marvel at.
There's a little maestro, just weaves his magic, doesn't he, here? Oseni picks out Chrysanthus on the far post. Good defending from Takahashi.
Look at
that. Oh, let's see that again, please. Little cut back. Maybe Chrysanthus has a weakness, and that would be his left foot.
What a goal that would be.
You will not tire of seeing that little flick from Ibrahim. They call him the new JJ Okocha, now you know why.
Well, there was talent like that. Maybe you should aim a bit higher.
You'll have Jose Mourinho on your case in a minute.
Well, I tell you, there's a break over the halfway line there. You could just see Yoshida step forward and ensure that Osanga was offside.
Tricks are all well and good when they come off, but if you don't have a positive effect in the game, it doesn't make any difference, not worth it.
Well, it's difficult to continue watching this game without a huge smile across your face.
Oh, it's been, I said from the beginning, it's virtually been irresistible and a pleasure to watch this Nigerian side.
There's Oseni going through the centre. Yoshida's staying back, trying to ensure he's played offside, but Kai was dropping into a deeper position, which made sure he stayed on. There's Hanato, who's come across from the right to the left. Hanato. It's the Japanese fans that are shouting about "give us a goal."
Mind you, if you're Oseni and you've had the sort of luck you've had already in this game and you possess that kind of talent, I'd be striking from that distance.
Massive smiles across the faces of the Nigerian supporters. Problem for their nation is, on many occasions we've seen them, is not getting out of the group stages. It's the performances they put in. They get a lot of plaudits. Everybody starts talking about them, and then ultimately they fall short in the knockout rounds. This will be the real test. So was it Ibrahim who was charging forward on the overlap? Osanga there, still managing to keep hold of it, and Chrysanthus is onside. Yes, he was. And another last-ditch challenge. Takahashi looked across. Kai was there. The Japanese are chasing shadows all over the place.
Toying with Japan's defence then. A bit of luck involved, but there's a great deal of talent and awareness out there.
Again, there's the setup, and again it's spilled, and again it was Ibrahim who flew in to try and pounce on that mistake. And it was Haruna, it looked like, with that shot, so He's getting closer.
He is. It's the classic up, back and through, with the through ball being the shot on this occasion. But it's link up. The furthest man forward knows he's just there as a wall to set it up, and they do it so well, Nigeria.
Yoshida. Kakitani's touch. Not a good one again, and it all breaks down, and forward they surge once more. Vicentes Osseini there. So what's going through his mind then?
I thought that was good defending. Just maybe didn't quite have the vision in his mind, Chrysanthus, when he receives that ball.
20 minutes to go. There's Kakitani. Lovely little ball then by Kakitani. Might get it back again.
Just not that heightened expectation when Japan get in that area that there is with Nigeria at the other end.
I suppose, I mean, it is a success, I suppose, at the moment that they've kept it down at 2-0. But Nigeria haven't run riot here.
No, but they've created their chances, Nigeria, just not taking them as efficiently as they did in the first half.
Yoshida.
That's where they need that little sharp interplay and link up. We're seeing from Nigeria. Japan just don't quite have it together right now.
This is Osanga. He's always got a runner. Choice and variation every time they come forward. Whoever's in possession, there are always options on. There's Alpha.
He's definitely not got his shooting boots on today, has he, Alpha? Or Beta in the shooting department. That's my lame gag for the day done with, thank you.
Some forward by Amadou. Japan ball. Substitution for the Nigerians. Off goes Osseini. On comes Akinsola. Well, a smile and a handshake from the referee. He's done his bit. How good's he?
Exceptional talent. Saw the best of him in the first half, for sure. I think with his energy levels, no surprise really that Yemi Teller, the coach, has dragged him out of the action just to give him a break. He was an absolute pleasure to watch, particularly in the first 45 minutes.
Amadou. Senga. Well, he's covered some ground as well in this second half, Ibrahim. Every time, perhaps more so in this half than in the first half, he was then, every time a Senga's come in possession, he's gone charging past him.
And the thing is, invariably, he's not seen the ball. He's one of those players you don't see a great deal of because your eye's attracted to the flair players and the strikers. But he is, as you so rightly say, quite an athlete. At this stage of the game, doesn't hesitate to get on an overlap.
If they could just find a way, if they could just get a slice of luck, the Japanese, it would give us a really momentous final 15 minutes if they could get a goal here.
If they could keep possession, it would be great. For their sake, they've worked ever so hard and they've had a tendency to give a possession away cheaply.
And every team does it beautifully. Takahashi. There's Yamada, and they'll struggle to keep that in.
It's just complacency. Maybe some fatigue creeping in.
And here's the other goal scorer from the first game, who was unlucky not to be included in the starting lineup. Mizunuma, who's really perhaps been their best player. He's defended, he's gone forward, he's covered in the middle of the field. You could not fault him for effort in this game whatsoever.
Well, he's played a captain's role. You know, tried to lead by example, tried to set the character standard for his teammates, and you would expect that from a Japanese player.
So all three substitutes used. Inside the final quarter of an hour here. For the second half not being quite as good as the first half, but it's still been almost compulsive viewing. You're waiting for the Japanese either to get that piece of luck or to put something together in this game for the first time, or to see something produced by the Nigerians, something marvellous to behold. They've done it twice already, threatened to do it on numerous other occasions in the second half, but nothing as yet has quite come off. But still, no sign that the stamina levels are dropping amongst the Nigerians either. We're going to get a change to them too. This is going to be Egbeta, who's coming on. And it's Osanga who's gone off. And your view on Osanga's performance, certainly in the second half?
Far more involvement in the second half, and another player that's had a positive effect throughout the game for Nigeria. Quite impressed with him. They've got a whole array of stellar talent in this age group, haven't they?
Better in the middle of the field, and not quite up to match speed. Christiantus peels wide. Substitute Egbeta.
Asked a lot of himself to knock it one side and get around the defender the other. Thought he was going to just whip that across the face of goal.
Great interception then. And look at the continuation of the pace. Ibrahim is in there. And can they conjure something up here? Well, he will probably feel that he deserves a moment on the score sheet, doesn't he?
Just got a little bit of space, doesn't get the connection or the accuracy he wanted. But once more, Nigeria profiting from Japan giving possession away in their own half. The more they do it, the more they're just inviting Nigeria's attacks, and you know that won't stop.
There's going to be plenty for him to think about in the days that follow here as we move up toward the final game. Hiroshi Jofuku. And they have that very awkward final game against France in Goyang. So they've got to travel for that game. As all the final matches will kick off at the same time, so there'll be maximum drama across the weekend. You'll be able to see it, of course, live and exclusively here. Egbeta again waiting for that overlapping run from Ibrahim and Hironaka. Well, you don't know what's going through his mind quite.
He dealt with it, but you're just not confident, are you? Again, Ibrahim on the overlap ignored, but I guess he'll come back and do it all again. He's a true, honest athlete, the fullback for Nigeria on this side.
I was going to say the Nigerians replaced their goalkeeper. Perhaps they'll give Ajay Boy the afternoon off for the final game, so as it stops him getting bored, as he's had nothing to do, has he in the second half?
One thing to do in the first half, and he did it superbly.
Yeah, great save.
One of the best moves of the game, and he was there in the right place.
Egbeta. Well, he's determined to continue along the same vein, isn't he, Haruna? Every time he gets it, he's not giving it to anybody else, not while there's a chance that he can score.
I've got the armband, I'm scoring the goals. He's got a bit of a selfish streak in him, but he's got a desire to miss and come back and miss again and come back, so...
Is that a strength
I think it's strength of determination. I think every attacking midfield player and striker must be able to miss several times and come back and not be fazed by it.
Slight drop in terms of the overall possession, dropped 5%. Now can they slip this through? No, they can't. Yamada was looking at the goal then. Kawano, 14. And again, whenever it's a challenge, 50-50, they've come off second. The defence have shored them up on a couple of occasions. Kanai and Kai have done particularly well. This is Egbeta. Oh, lovely footwork from Egbeta.
The old Egbeta, now you see it, now you don't trick on the move. Just wonderful athletes.
This is where he first saw the likes of John Obi Mikel performing. He had a lot more time than that, didn't really need to make as much of a hash as he did.
Oh, he thrashes at this and just hot-blooded. Got to go cold on the ball, especially when you're striking.
Christiantus getting it to Egbeta. Oh, this is a fabulous run now. If they found the right pass, that is absolutely outstanding. Christiantus gets it and makes it 3, but it was the work of the substitute, Akinsola, that made it. It was the move of the game.
Oh, it's culminated in a goal, and you can't take anything away from it, but the way it is constructed, the confidence and desire from players to express themselves, the belief, and then doesn't just throw this away, just cuts it back for his teammate. Oh, if it was, let's be fair, we'd love to see it. He sets it up. He doesn't give his teammate a problem. All he does is he sets him up to pass it into the back of the net.
That was out of play. But I mean, you know, so what? It was a great move. They deserve it. And they're getting some live commentary on the mobile back home. And let's be honest, the scoreline tells the story. In fact, it could have been more. It should have been more.
It should be more, but we forgive them because they've given us a real entertainment in this game.
3 goals now for Christiantus in this competition.
And you look at the scoreline and think the
same as Moses.
Yes. Now you look at the scoreline and think Japan have been poor and woeful. They haven't been that bad. They've just met an opponent who is in superb form right now.
A better infield of Akinsola.
Is that our friend Haruna again? No, that's he's definitely not got his shooting boots on, Alpha, has he?
Well, the challenge for this world title from Europe looks to be a strong one at the moment, being led by the Spanish, first to qualify for the next stage. The challenge from Africa looks perhaps even a little bit stronger. This is Egbeta.
I thought
with Ghana as well, remember?
Yeah, of course, don't forget the Ghanaians. I thought it was slightly arrogant of the Nigerian coach Yemi Tella to say he'd be coming back from Korea with the World Cup.
He wouldn't be the first person that said that, though, would he?
No, but when you watch his team play, you can see why those thoughts are fermenting in his head and why his own players feel that they're able